Light one little candle for Christmas and another for joy, for special things the season brings to every girl and boy. Light one little candle for Hanukkah and another for friends, for starry nights and twinkling lights and dreams that never end. One little candle burning bright, one little candle light up the night, one little candle clear as the stars above. Light one little candle for love. Light one little candle for Kwanzaa and another for pride, for faith and trust in each of us standing side by side. Light one little candle for Diwali and another for grace, for a simple song to sing along and put a smile upon your face. One little candle burning bright, one little candle light up the night, one little candle clear as the stars above. Light one little candle for love.
Join me, please, for a moment of centering. I welcome one, I welcome all on this dark night of wonder to a joyous celebration of light. Tonight we celebrate with Christmas Story a truth most worth celebration. The power of love, light, and creation is the Christ nature, and it lies deep in the heart of all people everywhere. With this awareness, I lift myself. We lift each other in love, peace, and harmony. Tonight, we celebrate through song and verse and candle lighting. Tonight, we remember with awe and with gladness the infinite possibility in this story. In these dark days, I remember, befriend the darkness as I welcome joy. Messages of hope, guidance, and inspiration often arrive in the darkness. In the hush of a velvet silence, I hear what is lost to me in noise and haste, and I remember what matters most: to love and be loved, to lift up and to carry on, bringing into form what I have imagined in my most loving hours. I move forward now, not because my path is fully illumined, but because in this darkness I have rediscovered my inner light. Tonight, we join in celebration and recommitment to shine into a troubled world that which is noble and good. Together, we shall become a blaze.
One little candle burning bright, one little candle light up the night, one little candle clear as the stars above. Light one little candle for love.
Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters. Streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor. Come, the way of friendship. It is the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence, and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Flood waters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate, which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It is louder now. It is louder. Louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It is what we have hungered for. Not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies. Security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptists and Buddhists, Methodists and Muslim, say, come, peace, come, and fill us with our world with your majesty. We, the Jewish and the Jainist and the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It is Christmas time, a halting of hate time.
O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in fear and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine. Oh, night. Oh, night divine.
I wasn't going to start by saying how much I look forward to hearing Matthew sing that song every single Christmas, but I can't hear it and not say that. And when I looked at your faces and saw that many of you were right there with me, thank you, Matthew, and all our musicians. Thank you for joining us on this very special night, being in the presence of all of you, bringing depth to this season, one that can be sometimes criticized for its shallowness and commercialism. It's a great gift for me. It's a great gift for all of us, I think. It offers us a balancing. I won't need many words of welcome tonight because this night is music rich, and I think the atmosphere that we all create here together just will carry us. I celebrate your presence, though, and remind you that our doors are always open to you. And as it was said just yesterday in this place by Ken Urie standing on the platform, at Unity in Linwood, there is always room at the inn. So thank you, Ken. That was such a wonderful idea. If you might be with us for the first time tonight, we're especially happy that you are here. We've become a place actually beyond these walls, and so I want to take an opportunity as well to thank anyone with us this evening online. We are also lifted by your presence. I think this would be a great moment to just take a few moments and welcome each other. So feel free to move around a little bit while we do that.
So this is our audience participation section. So we're going to sing some carols, and I hope you will remain standing and sing out. Here we go. Angels we have Some children see him lily white, the baby Jesus born this night. Some children see him lily white, with tresses soft and fair. Some children see him bronzed and brown, The Lord of heaven to earth come down. Some children see him bronzed and brown, with dark and heavy hair. Some children see him dark as day. Sweet Mary, Son, to whom we pray. Some children see him dark as day, and they love him too. The children in each different place will see the baby Jesus' face, like theirs, but bright with heavenly grace, and filled with holy light.
Good morning. Oh, old habits. It's morning somewhere. Thank you, Gloria. Good evening. Merry Christmas, Unity in Linwood. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas. Always, it's an honor to be in your noble presence. You know, December 25th, while it wasn't established as the birth date of Jesus until sometime in the 300s, I have to tell you, I love that choice. For whether you consider the prophecy of Isaiah or the stories of the evangelists, whether you consider the prophecy of a young woman of marriageable age, perhaps a young woman full of vigor, or the story of a young woman sexually chaste, there's a common thread. For both prophet and evangelist perceived and experienced unthinkable cruelty and oppression in his world, and I think each assigned this birth as the symbolic entrance of a higher way of being together, not in some distant afterlife, mind you, but right here and right now, among the living, breathing brothers and sisters of planet Earth, a better way of being together, not as subjects in an imperially driven world marked by power, but as equals in a divinely inspired world marked by love. Both are tales of hopeful triumph amidst an experience of daunting circumstance. Both are tales of profound light amidst an experience of deepest darkness. So is it factual that the birth occurred on December 25th? for many, many reasons, I think it's highly unlikely. In fact, I don't think the odds are even close to 1 in 365. But is it true? Is it true that the birth occurred on that night of deep, deep darkness? And of course I would say yes. Yes, this is deeply, deeply true. Does someone else hear that? Is it just me? Because it does sound like Christmas bells. I'm thinking might be having some inspiration here. I'm not sure. So anyway, if you agree, if you can agree with this and you're starting to embrace these nativity narratives with an appropriate mindset, in other words, you're beginning to set aside the post-Enlightenment mindset, which so enjoys all that can be weighed on a scale and charted on a graph, and you're beginning to call forth something of that pre-Enlightenment mindset, which is capable of drawing forth the transcendent truths of these tales. You just go with it. I don't know. It's pretty. The pre-Enlightenment mindset that is capable of drawing forth the transcendent truths of these tales completely independent from their factuality. You're beginning to call forth something of that mindset which is capable of grasping that indeed the Christmas story is a universal story which was particularized by Jesus of Nazareth. That the Christmas story is a universal story which is to be particularized by each of us, even on evenings such as this. So if you are one for whom this story is particular, in other words, if you are one for whom this story is that of a human agent for societal change that would prove global and lasting, an itinerant Jewish teacher and healer born around 2,000 years past, we welcome you. We welcome you because we celebrate the ministry of this rabbi every December. And if you are one for whom this story is universal, if you are one for whom this story is that of availability and obedience, courage and willingness to step into the thing, we welcome you because we honor this Christ idea every December.
Good people, all this Christmas time, consider well and bear in mind what our good God for us has done in sending His beloved Son. With Mary holy we should pray to God with love this Christmas day. In Bethlehem upon that morn there was a blessed Savior born. The wise men traveled from afar, directed by that glorious star, and on they wandered night and day until they came where Jesus And they came unto that place where our beloved Jesus lay. They humbly cast down at his feet those gifts of gold and incense sweet. With thankful heart and joyful mind, the shepherds went the babe to find. And as God's angel had foretold, they did that babe, the Christ, behold. Within a manger he was laid, and by his side the Virgin Maid, as long foretold upon that morn, the hope of mankind all was born. And so it is with thee this night, the angels promise hope and light. The star imparts its warm embrace of Christ as born in every face. So Merry Christmas all and one, on this the birthday of our Son, that hope and light all hearts foresee. We bow our heads and let it be.
So for those who are joining us for the first time, we began this series with the Magi, Gentile scientists, if you will, from what can be described as little more than over there somewhere. These unlikely candidates obeyed the call of a star. They obeyed inspiration presented in a manner in which they could accept. Theirs is a story of that higher idea which already exists for each of us if we will but lift our eyes high enough over the horizon of current circumstances to see it. And then we continued with the shepherds, Jewish peasants from the local hills, I imagine. They obeyed the call of the angels. They obeyed inspiration, again, presented in a manner in which each could accept. And theirs is a story of that higher idea which already exists for each of us if we will but find enough night time, that is, if we will but find enough quiet to hear it. So together it could be said that these are stories of availability, obedience, and courage. After all, what value has availability without obedience and courage? And isn't it a wonderful attribute of godness that inspiration didn't come to the Magi as an angel, that inspiration didn't come to the shepherds as a star? Isn't it a wonderful attribute of godness that inspiration comes to the Jew and to the Christian, to the Buddhist, to the naturist, to the Taoist, the Confucian, and yes, to the agnostic and the atheist, in a manner which each can accept? And then we continued with the Virgin Mary, ill-prepared and ill-equipped, an underage peasant girl. As I said yesterday morning, I absolutely love it that Mary was ill-prepared and ill-equipped. For while we tend to reject these as deficits to be overcome, I would suggest that this narrative extends them as necessities to be embraced. I would suggest that ill-prepared and ill-equipped are powerful positions for transformation, for it's only when we recognize that we are egoically ill-prepared and ill-equipped that we become spiritually available to those resources which transcend our own. Humility and power are fond bedfellows. I would go so far as to argue that at every pinnacle moment, at every jump point in human evolution, you will find at the center at least one soul who was wildly ill-prepared and completely ill-equipped, because change cannot rise from the comforts of a status quo wisdom. And with the angel's announcement and what I would offer as a pinnacle moment in these narratives, Mary responded by saying, "Let it be. Let it be." So to this point, taken together, it could be said that these are stories of availability, obedience, courage, and Mary's willingness to step into the thing. For what value have availability, obedience, even courage, without a willingness to step into the thing? And so it is that we arrive at this climax of the narratives. For if Mary demonstrates a willingness to step into the thing, what exactly is this thing itself? What does it mean to step into the Christ? And in the particular story that was demonstrated around Jesus of Nazareth some 2,000 years past, it meant something quite earthy, I would imagine, for all involved. Birth is a messy business. And as it is with all particular stories, it had a beginning and it had an ending. But in the universal story, in the same way that the Dorothy in each of us is still journeying to Kansas, in the same way that the Frodo within each of us is still journeying to Mount Doom, in the universal story, even today, so long after the Magi have returned to over there somewhere, so long after the shepherds of old have returned to their flocks, the Christ in each one of us is still being birthed. And again, in case you haven't noticed, birth is a messy business. You see, as it is with all universal stories, this has neither beginning nor ending. This has only its unfolding narrative, if you will. And that unfolding narrative occurs within human beings, and this unfolding narrative occurs among human beings. So while Tuesday morning we'll find many of us storing garland in giant plastic tubs and thinking, well, Christmas ends for another year, it's my hope that Tuesday morning we'll find some of you recycling bows and contemplating, well, Christmas continues for another year. So what does it mean to step into the Christ? Our Hindu brothers and sisters might ask, what does it mean to step into Krishna consciousness? Our Buddhist brothers and sisters might ask, what does it mean to step into Buddha consciousness? Our Jewish brothers and sisters, what does it mean to step into God consciousness? And so forth. So what does it mean to step into this Christ? Well, if the life of Jesus himself is to be our guide, and I do hope that every self-professed Christian will at least consider this as something of a standard. If the life of Jesus himself is to be our guide, let's open our minds for a short time. Let's open our hearts in consideration of that question. And let's close those outer eyes as we do so. Let's take a deep breath together. Let's make our bodies comfortable and in whatever way suits you. And let's reflect for a few moments of meditation. does it mean then to step into this Christ?
That mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice. And ransom captive Israel.
What does it mean then to step into this Christ? And if the life of Jesus himself is to be our guide, let us consider that we step into this Christ in every moment that we embrace the outcast, in every moment that we welcome the estranged, in every moment that we touch the untouchable. We step into this Christ in every moment that we open our tables in kindness and welcome. We step into this Christ in every moment that we pray generously, even for those who would persecute. In every moment that we share generously, even with those who would take. We step into this Christ in every moment of healing. We step into this Christ in every moment of peacemaking. We step into this Christ in every moment of compassion. We step into this Christ in every moment of forgiveness. We step into this Christ in every moment of love. Step into this Christ in every moment of quiet contemplation. We step into this Christ in every moment that we relinquish social convention for divine authority. We step into this Christ in every moment that we relinquish tomorrow's fears for today's sufficiencies. We step into this Christ in every moment, that we bring forth any portion of the richness which has been placed within us. Friends, we bring forth this Christ in every moment. We allow our respective lights to shine.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Thank you again for being here with us. We've set aside a moment to honor that natural instinct that just sort of bubbles up, I think, in many of us this time of year in particular, to give. We will pass an offering basket in just a moment to accept any love offerings you might like to make in support of this community and its programs. We believe in our mission, a practical spirituality, and a friendly, welcoming community that extends to everyone throughout the year. I thank you ahead of time for your support for this mission and its generous offerings of programs all year long.
Home for the holidays, I believe I've missed each and every face. Come on and play one easy. Let's turn on the love light in the place. It's time I found myself totally surrounded in your circles. Oh, my friends, please celebrate me home. Give me a number, please celebrate me home. Play me one more song that I'll always remember. I can recall whenever I find myself too all alone. I can sing me home. An easy hideaway, traveling where the westerly winds can fly. Somebody tried to tell me, but the man forgot to tell me why. I gotta count on being gone. Come on, Mom, and come on, Daddy. Please, what you want from me? I'll be strong. I'll be weak. Please celebrate me home. Give me your number, please. Celebrate me home. Play me one more song that I'll always remember. I can recall whenever I find myself too all alone. I could make believe I've never gone. Let me know where I belong. Sing me home, celebrate me home. Give me your number, please. Celebrate me home. Play us one now, Doctor. Celebrate me home. Celebrate me home. Please celebrate me home. Please celebrate me home. Celebrate me home. Celebrate me home.
As we are about to close this evening with candle lighting, I first want to offer an invitation. Please join us on this last Sunday of the year for a burning bowl ceremony, and on the first Sunday of the new year for a white stone ceremony. Come and release all that would deny the limitless potential of a limitless creative power from being realized through you. We prepare ourselves for the coming year through these powerful rituals. And now, as the ushers will dim the lights, you'll have the opportunity to ritualize this powerful and universal story of emerging light by lighting your personal candles. I have a few important instructions for safety reasons. The light will come down through the choir, and as your light is lit, please, when your light is lit, please hold it upright. An unlit candle can bend toward the light, but if we are lit, we must stand upright. When we are through this evening, there will be people of service there to take the candles back as you exit the sanctuary. Thank you again for being with us.
This is my wish for the world, that peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light, let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. I I hear the sweetest sound, the sound of hope to come. Together we could bring goodwill to everyone. Let it start with you, let it start with me. Let every nation rise and sing this melody. Fill the air with joyful noise, ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Lift your light, let it shine, 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 shine. Let there be peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth, let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth, let there be peace on earth.
Holding those up, Jesus demonstrated that a new light of love so profound that it could pierce the countless veils of human confusion and illusion. And every Christmas challenges each of us to discover this same light, to nurture this same light, to trust this same light. Every Christmas challenges each of us to share this same light with every choice we make. Every Christmas challenges each of us to demonstrate more and more again of this new consciousness with which each of us is miraculously pregnant. The consciousness Jesus described as the kingdom of heaven. And so it is that while we now extinguish these outer candles, we do so in recognition that this new light of love is ours to carry into an eager and waiting world. We do so in joyful recognition that the Christmas story is indeed ours to continue.
We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud, peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud,
Peace.
peace. We look at each other and then into ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul.
Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth.
And together, Unity in Linwood. Merry Christmas. Christmas. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.